So are Ferrari holding their cards close to their chest about a Formula E future? Well, recently, Jeff Dodds, the CEO of Formula E, was asked about Ferrari and their potential move to join Formula E. And he was asked quite bluntly, had talks been taking place between the two parties? He made it clear that perhaps, in his own words, maybe. Now it begs the question, would someone like Ferrari like to join Formula E? Now let's be honest, Ferrari is a very proud motor company. They have been very successful in their career racing through many years. One of the founding members of Formula One, recently getting back into Le Mans and doing pretty well at most things that they touch in a racing sense. They've got a long lineage and a long history, so striking out into a new racing series would be a bit of a departure for them and something they haven't really done of late. Certainly they've returned to old sporting events, but never started off something brand new. The reason this question comes about is Ferrari, like a lot of other auto manufacturers, are having to invest in their electrification future. Currently at the moment, SK On, a South Korean manufacturer, currently supplies all of Ferrari's batteries, for example. With the new E factory opening up in Italy, that whole process will shift internally within Ferrari. Now that's something that they're quite keen on, and that's something you see a lot with Ferrari. They don't like major outside influences, and they like to be in control of everything they do. Now this is the problem with Formula E from Ferrari's standpoint, from the way I see it, is the fact that they are being given a stock battery and they're being given a stock car. Although yes, they can obviously tinker around with the electronics, the inverters, the whole rear end of the car, let's be honest about it. But it doesn't give them the ultimate freedom of expression and being able to develop something to how they want it and how they see it should be done. Let's be honest, we've seen it numerous times in other racing series with Ferrari, where realistically it's their heritage, it's their stamp, and they do it their way, the Ferrari way. Now, this begs the question, if this conversation has been happening between Ferrari and Formula E, I can pretty much guarantee what would have been said to Jeff Dodds was, let us build our own chassis and our own battery, then we'll talk. And realistically, that may be the way it goes. Now, we know for Gen 4, when that starts in a few years, that's not going to be the case. It's still a stock car that's being delivered by Spark, and obviously we have the battery as a standard unit. Now, this is interesting for me, and perhaps maybe we're looking a little bit further off into the future now with Gen 5. But I think some serious questions will start to come towards the end of the Gen 4 era. And I think at that point, there'll be a lot of manufacturers like Ferrari that might actually see this as an opportunity for them to be able to get involved. If there's an opportunity for them to effectively enter the sport as their own entity and do it the Ferrari way, let's just say, that might just be what they need to enter the sport. I think as it currently stands at the moment, it's too restrictive for them. Although yes, that very proud history, if they can enter the sport and they don't do very well, it's almost a case of they can not so much blame the other parts for not being able to perform the Ferrari way, but it doesn't give them the freedom, and I think that's what they'll be after. So would Ferrari join Formula E? I think possibly, but I don't think that's ever likely to happen before Gen 4, or even likely to happen during Gen 4. I think it's going to be a way off down the road. Would we like to see Ferrari in the sport? 100%. I think it would be a fantastic addition to that fantastic lineup and names of major manufacturers we've got with rich sporting heritage, such as Porsche and Maserati, for example. And that begs the question, with those two teams, for example, they would love to go out on their own and be able to do their own thing. I can guarantee you of that. So realistically, we might just have to watch this space. So yes, I do think the talk has happened between Ferrari and CEO, and realistically, I think from reading what you hear Ferrari have got to say about the matter, in the fact that they haven't expressly ruled it out, all they've basically said is that the sport is currently not that attractive to them. So to me, that's kind of a maybe. So you never know. When things change, we could be seeing the Scarlet Ferrari on the start line of a Formula E race, and I think that would be an exciting prospect. Anyway, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.